this diet I'm going to tell you about is going to help you totally get your life under control. I want to start off by talking about the fact that apparently the average person will try to diet twice a year. And in a recent poll, they found that of the 2,000 people they polled, most people started their diet because they wanted to look better when they looked in the mirror. So they wanted to see a better reflection looking back at them. Another 21% of people said that they started their diet because they wanted to get ready for a holiday or a vacation where they were sure they were going to be presented with lots of food and they were going to eat more than usual. And then you have those people who are getting into shape, losing weight because they want to because they have a big event they're going to go to. So some event, I'm going to guess that, especially for us ladies, we want to fit into some kind of outfit. And so that was 18% of people gave that reason. Now, the one thing that I want us to think about in all of those answers that we were given is that none of them are actually talking about tackling the reason that they're overweight in the first place. So we're trying to solve the problem without actually looking at the cause of the problem. And I think that's because we think that the cause of the problem is simply overeating. Okay, this is where it gets tricky, right? Because in my mind, the truth is cravings cause overeating. And cravings are coming because of those foods that we want. They taste good. They push us. Eating that food causes our weight gain. And we do choose the food we crave even in the face of better options being available to us. And in this image, when I'm saying better options, I do see cucumbers in the image. Why do we do this? Well, have you ever been in the situation where you swear to yourself that you're not going to eat chips anymore? And then you go to the grocery store and there's cookies in your shopping cart. Or maybe you find yourself driving out of your way to go buy junk food, even though you're on a diet and you've told yourself you're not going to do that anymore. Or you even find yourself lying to your spouse about what you've eaten. You know, those lies of omission where you conveniently leave out the junk food that you had today. We do it because we don't want to feel bad about what we've eaten. We do it because we don't want to get a lecture from our spouse about what we've eaten, but we also do it because we can't stop. Now, we call these desires to eat junk food cravings, but I want every single person watching this video to understand that that's just a cute way of saying that we are addicted. I know you're going to disagree because sugar has no impact on you. It doesn't push you to do things, or does it? Right? And I want you to just stop and think about the fact that sometimes we're sitting in front of this fun food and we don't actually, we want to eat it, but we know we shouldn't be. And we're in this fight that we're having with ourselves. And that's why you clicked on this video, because you realize that you're a slave to the sugar that you've been eating. Your weight is rising, right? I remember that. My weight was rising and I knew I shouldn't be eating these things. And yet I was eating them. Your health is deteriorating. And interestingly, you're still eating junk food. Why? Because you're addicted. And worse, you don't even know what truly triggers you, right? You think if I don't eat the donut, but I eat the apple, I'm doing better for myself. But in fact, there's still quite a bit of sugar in that apple. And this is part of the problem, is that we don't know that cereal that has that heart check on it isn't actually healthy. We don't know fruits are causing our weight to rise. We don't know pasta and bread, although they're seen as necessary starches, are actually just sugar that we're eating unnecessarily. Food companies have convinced us that healthy foods are actually these things, when in fact these things are what's making our weight rise. Now we have to understand that the goal of any pusher is to trap us, right? And then we get into the story where, well, I'm eating the heart healthy cereal and I'm eating the fruit I'm supposed to. I'm having 2 starches per day. My weight is still rising. I'm already sick. Well, why don't I just eat the junk food? I'm not doing any better and I'm not eating the stuff that I really like. And that's where we get into trouble. That apple has 26 grams of carbs. A typical donut has 37. They're not that far apart. Sugar lights up the part of our brain that drugs light up. And it releases these neurotransmitters that actually help the body to feel good, right? It helps you to feel emotionally good. It also lessens pain. So if you repeat eating sugary things often enough, then you actually need to eat the sugary thing to feel good. And we've seen that story before, right? First you're drinking to have fun, and then you have to drink to have fun. When you try to stop eating sugar like sugar cubes, but also because we add sugar to our coffee, our cereal. So on top of the fact that cereal is already sugar, we add sugar to it. But what about the things that don't look like sugar? Like we all know donuts is sugar. There's no getting around that. But what about French fries? What about pizza? What about rice? What about all those things that don't look like sugar? If you try to stop eating these things, if you make it a few days without giving in to your cravings, you end up having real withdrawal symptoms. And then you're nauseous. You're having headaches. You have no energy. You have intense cravings on top of it all. You have muscle aches. And the nice one is that you're irritable, so your friends and family are annoyed to be around you. You feel anxious, down, and depressed. Can I point out that these withdrawal symptoms that you're having, that almost everyone I've ever talked to who tried to truly cut all the sugar out of their life had, I want to point out that we don't have withdrawal symptoms unless we're addicted to something. I can't have withdrawal symptoms to something I've never used. It doesn't work like that. You only have withdrawal symptoms if you've been in contact with the thing that's causing the withdrawal symptoms. And in this case, it's sugar. How do we get rid of the cravings? Well, we need to lower the sugar that we're eating to a level that stops our addictive engagement. But here's the tricky part. Our body doesn't care where the sugar comes from. Our body is an amazing machine that can use all the carbohydrates, starches, and refined sugars in the process of getting high, right? Because in the body, they're all converted down to simple sugars. So whether you're eating rice or a chocolate bar, your body will figure out the way to get it to do the thing that helps the body to feel good. We actually need to lower our total carb count in order to end our cravings. And that means typically doing something like a keto diet. Because on a keto diet, you're down to 20 grams of carbs or less every day. And that's a dramatic reduction in sugar. The average American eats 350 to 450 grams of carbs every day. A reminder, 454 grams is a pound. So if I'm eating 20 grams of carbs per day, I'm eating less than 5% of what I probably was eating if I was at that max. Now, doctors believe that our body would be able to manage that small amount of sugar. I have to say, I've done it, and it works. Eating less than 20 grams of carbs every day allowed me to stop feeling compelled to eat sugar. It allowed me to lose weight. I lost 70 pounds. It allows me to stay in this situation because I'm no longer addicted. So I solved all my inflammation issues. I solved the very likely budding metabolic issues that I had. I know I already had insulin resistance because I was overweight, but I also probably was on my way to bigger and worse metabolic issues. Basically, eating a keto diet gave me my life back, my health back, my ability to run around and do fun things back. And I want you to keep in mind that I lost all that weight in about 5 months, which is a short period of time. Why was it so short? Well, because first of all, the pain issues I was having, I didn't cheat on my diet. I didn't step away from my diet. I did 5 straight months of less than 50 grams of carbs, 100%. The first few months, it took me a long time to figure out what I would eat to get under 20 and have a day look like 20 or less. That's part of the reason that knowing my early beginnings, I encourage everybody, get a food calculator. Start this off correctly, right? If I have a food calculator, if I know what I'm eating and I know how to track and do all the things, I'm much more likely to be under that 20 and stay under that 20 much earlier than I was. I did that, and it's been 4 years, 5 months to get it under control, and it's 4 years that I'm still at goal weight. So eating less sugar didn't only help me to lose the weight, it helped me to keep it off. But the truth of the matter is, the only way that you're ever going to get your cravings under control, which then leads to getting your weight under control, is to end your addiction to sugar. I have a video called Let's Crush Carb Addiction, Change Your Relationship with Food, that you need to watch after this. because it's going to help you to start that process of getting your cravings under control.